First one is a video of a assist agency. We assisted the state patrol. One of our deputies happened to be doing a jail transport or going to pick up a inmate in another county, overheard some radio traffic of the state patrol having a individual who ran from a traffic stop. We happened to be close by. We were able to respond to the area, put the UAV up, and quickly found the suspect hiding in a bean field. And this, by the way, this is at probably 2 o'clock in the morning. So very difficult to find this individual. Had we had to go out on foot, it would have taken numerous officers to cover that large field. We were able to spot him very quickly through the heat detection, and we're kind of skipping through it here, but that documented his arrest and walking him back to the patrol car. He got a little aggressive there towards the end, ended up having to be resecured. But that's a nice way to document that. Resecured, yes. So that's a nice way to document that. It protects the officers and the entities as well. So it's.
He was in a stolen vehicle.
Yes, I believe he was a stolen vehicle. That's why he ran for the hills. Here's another FLIR clip. We assisted the Cold Spring Police Department. An individual had assaulted his wife, I believe it was, or girlfriend. Officers responded. He fled from the vehicle, hid out in bushy area north or west of Cold Spring. This runs a little longer, but again, officers were able to quickly find the suspect hiding in the brush. They were able to approach safely with real-time information from the drone operator, leading them right to the suspect, and were able to take him into custody virtually without incident. I think he felt quite defeated, knowing that, wondering how the officers had any idea where he was, and they walked right up to him and took him into custody. An interesting piece about, or a note on this one, is as the individuals walked away here in a moment, you'll see the heat signature that he leaves on the ground. So had he moved from area to area, we'd still have a fairly good idea of where he had been, or this individual had been. So again, the ability to document the arrest and subsequent walkout is kind of really a neat tool. This was a search warrant conducted by our VOTIF. Again, this is, I should say again, but this is a trailer park in Stearns County. What we did is you'll see the vehicles approaching from the west here. They're going to deploy from the vehicle and make entry on this trailer. Really neat part about this is, this can document if something were to go bad at this point. It's information we can provide back to the officers or the team leader. If a vehicle suddenly leaves or somebody flees from the area, they can make a new plan very quickly without, having to walk into like an unknown situation. You notice on this video the trees, how hard they're blowing. There's about 30-mile-an-hour winds. That camera is completely still. That gimbal is what keeps that thing from flying away with the wind. So this was an incident over head-on collision near Roscoe recently. We just did a short, there's actually we did about 3 videos and around 100 pictures of this crash scene. Just giving you some highlights of it. But literally flying the drone through the crash site, giving, say this goes in front of a jury in the court, that would provide just an incredible perspective for a juror to see without just a still photo. So. And we actually did this one in a 3D module too. We weren't able to incorporate that in the video, but we're able to photograph the scene, videotape it, load that into a application, and it was produced a 3D image. So really neat. I could share that with you if you ever stop by. This was a recovery of a stolen gator, piece of farm equipment out in Sauk Centre. We knew it was in the field. We put the drone up. Within just a matter of minutes, we were able to find it. And we had a pretty big idea where it was, but I thought it was neat the way we could kind of spot it out in the field. Just another one of the uses for it. We can, I think the next one is documenting some damage to property. Vehicle had fled from a party, I believe it was, and then tore off through a few fields and ended up getting stuck out in a swamp or a marshy area. I think the party was there. We were seeing the bulk of the tracks, but then up to the north or the top left there, you'll see I believe is the tracks of the suspect taking off. Officers were able to eventually apprehend the individual So we were able to document the damage to the crops and the other area for the later prosecution. Sheriff Goodmanson asked that I not put the music on. That may be too dramatic for you. If it was actual sound, you'd just hear the whizzing of the rotors. So it just zzz, you don't need to hear that part. But we can't overlay music. I don't think that's necessary. So that just shows the final resting spot of the vehicle. Plane crash out of western Stearns County was kind of not really remote, but it was in an area that was, a little bit difficult to find initially, and then to access. The FAA obviously assisted with this investigation. We were able to provide them with the same footage, and they were very appreciative. Allowed them to get give some perspective too as to where the plane ended up crashing. Quarry Park flyover. It's just a short video showing giving you kind of an idea of what it's capable of. This is something we could use for, if it was a promotional type video, if need be. Otherwise, a missing person, maybe documenting how big crowds are, parking issues if we have a large, like we have in the last few summers. Lots and lots of cars out there, and they begin parking in the grassy areas and things like that. So we could use it for those types of things. Just a little perspective of that. One part of this you'll see here in a moment. The UAV is actually designed to be flown by two people. It's flown by one person, but you'll see on my case over there's an iPad on the control box, and there's actually two of those. One is for flying, and the other one is for the camera. So one person can really focus on, where the UAV is going, and the other person can focus on searching and/or documenting. Tornado last fall in Melrose, just showing some overviews of some of the storm damage there. Really amazing. The night before was a loud thunderstorm and tornado damaging buildings, and the next day it's just beautiful sunny weather. It's just kind of amazing. Things like this is the Weather Service likes to see. If you notice on the building to the top, you didn't see it quickly, but it actually scraped the rocks right off the roof of the building, which normally you wouldn't have seen. This building was completely destroyed. It was brand new, hadn't even been moved into yet. Rolled it all out into the field. Actually over the interstate and down into the ramp area. So the UAV actually could, if we were to do a direct line of flight, we have to keep it within sight, but we could link the videos together and do a complete path of destruction if we needed to do so. This is the golf course in Melrose. I'm just showing again some tree damage and storm path. Doesn't look bad, but it took me about 4 days to clean up, or we to clean up. Still, it looks pretty barren out there if you've been through Melrose lately. And here's a video of one of the ditch flights we did, or the first one we did. Just gives you an idea of the clarity, and it gives you a perspective as to how the ditch is laid out. We'll see this again once it's completed. The clean out is completed, and we'll be able to provide that to if the landowner has questions or issues, or if Dean Trummel would just likes to show what he has done with the ditch, so that you guys have a better idea of how that works out. I believe that's actually like a man-made holding area or a pond area. There's a riprap apron that was placed in there. I believe that he wanted that documented specifically.